is good, everybody? My Paper Moon fam. It's your boy, PaperSIn, back with another reaction video. This one is called The Satisfying Downfall of Adam22. It's by the YouTube channel Internet Anarchist. So if y'all don't remember that, I'm pretty sure y'all remember. Recently, Adam22 had that whole controversy with his, his wife finally doing another scene with a scene with another man. You know what I'm saying? She's in the adult industry. She was finally going to do a scene with another man, and this was for the dude from Black, I think, or whatever. Jason, was it Jason Love? Anyway, yeah, so people started talking about that, and some other people, though, on the side was thinking that this was just a reason, this was being used to cover up his controversy that was just starting to be built, that was building. Like, controversy about him being with an underage girl, that was 16. And so maybe he was trying to use the Lena the Plug and Jason Love or whatever scene as like kind of a band-aid, or a cover up for what everybody else was starting to talk about. So let's check this out, and yeah, let's see what Internet Anarchist has to say. As always, link to the video and link to this channel will both be in the description below, so be sure to check them out. Let's go.
By the entire internet in a cesspool of online drama and controversy. How did one of the most well-respected podcasters with over 1 billion combined views go from interviewing legends of the hip-hop world
here with my good friend Juice WRLD? We were just kicking it and I was like, bro,
to finding himself being humiliated by the entire internet in a cesspool of online drama and controversy.
Are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're
I fucking
disrespectful as fuck.
I paid for the fucking
First of all,
funeral as soon as it happened just because.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be taking a deep dive into the controversial career of Adam22 and the events that not only destroyed his reputation, but also led up to him becoming one of the most clowned cucks on the internet. To understand the crisis plaguing the No Jumper brand, we'll first have to uncover what led Adam to YouTube in the first place. Shortly after moving from his hometown to New York, Adam would leave his life of credit card fraud mixed with online poker and become more interested. How did one of the most well-respected podcasters with over 1 billion combined views go from interviewing legends of the hip-hop world
Here with my good friend Juice WRLD, we were just kicking it and I was like, bro,
to finding himself being humiliated by the entire internet in a cesspool of online drama and controversy?
are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're
I fucking
disrespectful as fuck.
I paid for the fucking
First of all,
funeral as soon as it happened just because.
Oh shit.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist.
Happened just because.
Watch Adam when this guy gets up. Watch him.
Your mom when
You're
I fucking
disrespectful as fuck.
I paid for the fucking
First of all,
funeral as soon as it happened just because.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly
Definitely
YouTube
wasn't ready for it.
documentaries, and today we'll be taking a deep dive into the controversial career of Adam22 and the events that not only destroyed his reputation, but also led up to him becoming one of the most clowned cucks on the internet. To understand the crisis plaguing the No Jumper brand, we'll first have to uncover what led Adam to YouTube in the first place. Shortly after moving from his hometown to New York, Adam would leave his life of credit card fraud mixed with online poker and become more interested in the online world of BMX forums.
Scamming comes way before gambling.
Okay, talk about that.
It was, I talked about it a few times before on other podcasts, but it was basically like, I just knew this kid who knew this kid. He got in touch with me and he basically like just showed me how to do credit card fraud. And so me and my friends had like a little group going basically.
Naturally, Adam would seek out a way to monetize his love for BMX, and he looked up to early hip-hop blogs for inspiration. By 2006, Adam would create his own BMX forum called The Come Up, where he began regularly posting articles.
Like, it didn't feel like I was above, like doing something noble at that time. And I got $1,500 and I'm like, He just paid like a couple months of my rent at this time, you know? And then
Nice.
Within a year, the come up became one of the most visited BMX blogs on the entire internet, and from 2008 to 2010, Adam would launch his own clothing brand, On Some Shit, a YouTube channel by the same name, and moved to Los Angeles, California to further expand his business. The move would prove to be one of Adam's best decisions, as Los Angeles would go on to house the largest BMX scene in the country, and it didn't take long for Adam to establish a BMX store. The store would eventually attract several notable people in the BMX community, and with Adam being the smart businessman that he is, he sensed another opportunity brewing, as Adam decided to interview several of the popular BMX riders that came into his store. He would go on to convert the back of the building into a studio, as he would start an official podcast on YouTube called The Come Up. But this would only be the beginning, as it wouldn't be until 2015 that Adam decided to take advantage of the growing underground hip-hop scene by interviewing the up-and-coming SoundCloud rappers.
I'm kind of like right at the epicenter of a lot of the underground SoundCloud rap shit that was going on, like Playboy Cardi stopping by the bike shop, you know, Ski Mask, Slump God, all these guys were like kind of around and shit. And so then that's how I kind of started to get some of those interviews and stuff, even though myself, I'm pretty...
So it looks like he was pretty much not just in the right place at the right place at the right time, but he had, you know, plans that he followed. He decided he was going to do something, and he followed through. So yeah, I gotta give him props for props is due. You know what I'm saying? That's coming from, you know, that type of background to his peak, and being known to have interviews with all these next to fame rappers and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. Like, he was doing his thing. So what happened? Like, how do you go from that to where you are now? You know what I'm saying? Allegations about being with a 16-year-old and, you know, having your brand new wife of 2-3 months do a scene with another dude. You know what I'm saying? Big black dude. How did you get to that point? Is it just all about money? You know what I'm saying? It's just, oh, I don't have enough. I've already got millions, but I don't have enough. I want more. Is it really like the greed aspect, or is it, you know, shit, they found out about something, all right, we gotta do something even more drastic to cover that up, and I don't know.
The viewership for the podcast would skyrocket, which would lead Adam to rebrand the channel as No Jumper, named after a famous Gucci Mane lyric. The No Jumper podcast would feature several legendary rappers,
what was that lyric?
named after a famous Gucci Mane lyric.
Oh, wait. Okay, 95 Air Max, because I'm a dope runner. I'm balling like an athlete, but got no jumper.
The No Jumper podcast would feature several legendary rappers like XXXTentacion and Juice WRLD. These interviews giving the channel a reputation for being a great place for exclusive information about your favorite underground hip-hop personalities. As No Jumper grew popular in the hip-hop world, Adam got even more opportunities to garner influence, not just with the artists, but the labels as well. He went on tour with Lil Pump and received a record label contract with Atlantic Records.
That's how it's done, to be honest. Like, start with the underground ones that are getting famous, and as soon as they get famous, they're like, "Oh yeah, man, I did some shit with Adam with Adam on No Jumper. That shit was great." Da, da, da.
By this point, Adam was doing very well for himself.
Congrats.
He managed to break from the obscurity of the BMX scene and become a recognizable name in the hip-hop community. But unfortunately for Adam, his newfound notoriety would become a double-edged sword. But you know what else is a double-edged sword? The internet. That's why I protect my information with today's sponsor,
How do you do that?
Surfshark VPN.
Oh, wow.
Surfshark VPN ensures your online privacy by encoding all the data exchanged between your device and the web, safeguarding your personal details from large corporations and online threats. As a YouTuber, I frequently work in cafes and value my content's privacy. Using a VPN, I protect all my work on public Wi-Fi and bypass region-locked content. A VPN shields your online actions by encrypting your data. This is especially vital on public Wi-Fi that's often targeted by hackers. Concealing your IP ensures your online discretion, detaching your activities from your personal identity. Surfshark's clean web tool keeps you safe from ads, unwanted trackers, and threats. Plus, Surfshark never records or stores your online endeavors, maintaining a no-log policy. One of my favorite TV shows of all time is Breaking Bad, which thanks to Surfshark VPN, I can stream through UK servers. Best of all, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's absolutely no risk to try it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Use code Anarchist when signing up using the link in my description to receive an additional 3 months completely free. Now back to seeing where everything falls apart for Adam.
Could be
As it would be
useful.
by this point that allegations would begin to surface. On the 23rd of March 2018, the seeds of Adam's downfall would be sown when allegations that he had R-worded one of his ex-girlfriends came to the surface.
Oh shit.
Shortly after the allegations were made public in a now deleted Twitter post, Adam shared his own side of the story, quoting, "A girl I dated for a few months 10 years ago is coming out saying that I raped and assaulted her. These claims are new. She has no evidence. I have plenty of emails from her that make it clear how absurd these claims are. I've done plenty of stupid shit in my life, but I've never raped or hit a woman."
So, like, with this allegation, I don't know. I never heard about it until now. For Adam, I don't know, man. Like, if he did actually date her, then it could be like one of those women who are just trying to. Could be, not saying it is, not saying all women do this, not saying anything like that. Could be one of the few type of women who like to try to get as much money as they can by exploiting men. And she thought, well, he's probably doing good for himself now, and you know, if I say this and this, then I could, you know, maybe get some money from him and he'll pay me to stop saying things like that, or you know, he could go further and get some more money, whatever. Not saying that's what she did, but it is still a possibility. Not saying that it's the thing that she did, just that what if she did, is that's what she did. I doubted it, but maybe, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't know women from my past would fabricate rape stories, but I'm ready to face those head on too. According to an article posted on Pitchfork, an anonymous woman had gotten in contact with Connor Tripler on Twitter and claimed that Adam was a, quote, serial who was notorious for doxing women who speak up against him for rape. The general sentiment from Adam's fans was innocent until proven guilty, with comments along the lines of, "The bullshit will show, don't worry, just keep moving forwards with what you do best. Only the weak-minded, insecure people will do this, because they forgot how an L needs to be taken with grace." The most striking piece of evidence presented against Adam was his old B9 board posts, which have been deleted from archives. Fortunately, screenshots of the posts are still available. This is a story about love. Well, no, but it's a story about girls. One girl in particular, a girl who is a bit of an internet
So is this the 16-year-old?
legend in her own right, even though right now she is still just 19. That girl is Desire. The post then went on to detail how Adam met Desire on the B9 board, their initial chemistry, and a very steamy conversation they had on the phone. Adam would acknowledge how inappropriate the interaction was with a line that read, "If statutory R word is wrong, I didn't want to be right." It then went on to detail how Adam met Desire on the B9.
So it begins quite a long time ago when I was just 23 years old. But right now she's 19. Okay, at the time of writing this, she's 19, but the story starts when you were 23. Anyway, at the same time, I was posting heavily on the B9 board, writing so many of my stories in this way, and Desire posted on there too. She already carved out quite a reputation by way of numerous stories that circulated concerning her promiscuous behavior. Why would you get with her then? I recall reading stories involving torrid acts like doing anal and tourbus at Warped Tour. Wow. Excuse me. With the singer of a band, following a band around with her mom all over Canada. She grew up in Vancouver, although she was born in Romania, and for some weird shit, she could have, sex with the singer, and many other weird stories, all involving dudes in bands, obviously. And she was how old during all this again? And also, with you already knowing her story, why would you involve yourself with her?
Board, their initial chemistry, and a very steamy conversation they had on the phone. Adam would acknowledge how inappropriate the interaction was with a line that read, "If statutory R word is wrong, I didn't want to be right." On the 26th of March 2018, another Twitter user by the name of Helen added fuel to the fire with a statement that claimed that she was one of Adam's many victims. The images included in the tweet were screenshots from Adam's old B9 profile, as well as a statement from the alleged victim, with parts quoting, "It should should be noted for the record that he was well into his 20s when we began sexual relations when I was 16. He is denying this despite the fact that multiple women have come forward with similar allegations over the past decade. The abuse I endured from Adam22 stole years from my life, plunged me into a deep depression, and affected every relationship I've had to this day. Helen would go on to reference Connor Triplett's threat on Adam, and even urged Atlantic Records to cut ties with him, with parts quoting, "She was a minor in several photos. She doesn't want to cut ties with him," with parts quoting,
women. Hold on, that
threat on Adam, and even
believe women. If you supported me when you saw my busted face on your timeline, you cannot let this slide. This could have been like, you know, the fake Me Too movement and shit. I mean, the fake part of the Me Too movement and shit, but it could also be part of the real one. But with everything that has come out about, you know, the Me Too movement and stuff, it's hard to believe that some of this is real, and it's harder to determine which ones were real and which ones weren't, because just because a few women, you know, lied about it doesn't mean they're all lying about it. And so now it's like the rotten apple starts to poison the entire bunch, you know? So now it's like, was this person lying about it as well? Or were they actually telling the truth? And so, you know, you gotta be careful with that shit.
Urged Atlantic Records to cut ties with him, with parts quoting, "She was a minor in several photos. She doesn't want clout or money. She's had to sick lawyers on him once already to force him to remove her nudes and name. Don't accept this is all in the past. Let Atlantic Records know that this is not okay." And by the 30th of June 2018, various news websites had picked up the story and ran with the idea that Adam had indeed committed the crimes he was accused of. And an Atlantic Records spokesperson commented on the situation, stating, "We take any allegations of this nature very seriously and we are looking into them. Naturally, many of Adam's core fan base still reserved that he was innocent, and it seemed that most of those that deemed him guilty weren't as familiar with his brand. It wouldn't be until the 22nd of June 2018 that Adam would publicly address the allegations in an interview with DJ Vlad."
Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's such a gray area, because there's nothing that's going to happen that could prove what actually happened in some bedroom like 12 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that could happen that could really like swing, that could prove definitively that one thing happened or another.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same
When you put it like that, there's nothing that can happen that prove that something happened in some bedroom or another. That's a little
time, like, I had all these records of like the conversations that we had and everything, and you know, it's like you'd think, like, there's one email that just stands out to me in particular that she sent me, in which when I wrote the blog post, she wrote me a big ass email, like sort of correcting everything that she saw as wrong about the blog post. And keep in mind, this is a girl who said that I abused her and raped her and all this shit. You read the list of things that she was saying were wrong about the blog post, she's still telling me she loves me in the email. She's still telling me like all this stuff. There's no mention of anything. Like, I'm just...
By now, the attitude of the No Jumper fans towards the allegations were now shifting away from skepticism and towards considering them as the truth.
Oh shit.
With one of the comments quoting, "If you're familiar with this dude Adam, these allegations are well within the range of possibility." And another stating, "He started talking to her at 16, when he was well into young adulthood. He says he didn't meet her until she was 17 or 18, when he flew out to meet her. That sounds a lot like sexual grooming, dude. He has no place to be so confused by the fact that she felt violated and taken advantage of, because she was." The following year, Atlantic Records stated that they would no longer be working with the No Jumper brand. Adam's dreams of actively participating in the music space barely lasted a year, with him only releasing 2 tracks. He would once again share his perspective on the situation in another interview with DJ Vlad.
And then you lost your record deal.
Well, we had a 1-year deal, and we did the 1 year, and then we decided not to go forward from there.
Okay. Was it because of all the allegations that started to resurface?
So first off, we had a 1-year deal, and we did the 1 year, and then we sort of hit the end of the 1 year. And then we had a conversation, and they basically explained, like, you know, we're like a big fucking corporate company, and we have a lot of bullshit that we got to deal with, people we got to answer to, and they're like, you know, you ended up being a bit more controversial than we maybe had planned on, and it's kind of stopped us from getting a lot of stuff done. But the
Things weren't all doom and gloom for Adam. Even though he had just lost the deal with Atlantic Records, Adam still had the No Jumper brand, which was rapidly growing. From 2020 to 2022, Adam
so he had a
decided to
cushion
vary
to
the
fall back
content
on
available
from
on the channel and
financial-wise.
create several new shows like Disconnected and At the End of the Day podcast under his brand. Adam assembled colourful casts of weekly hosts like AD, Lush, Housephone, T-Rel, and Sharp to run the new weekly shows, all of whom were familiar faces that fans enjoyed watching, which resulted in the new podcasts making up for the bulk of the new content and views on No Jumper. Along with the new hosts came with a new wave of different guests. These guests weren't the typical underground artists that were initially featured on the podcast,
Right.
but the fans, they decided to watch anyway. But unfortunately for Adam22, No Jumper's growth would reach its downfall. Fast forward to 2023, the topics discussed on No Jumper shifted from telling stories of upcoming rappers to promoting gang violence, political debates, and several beefs between the hosts.
Oh boy.
Watch out, we ain't doing anything.
Violent outbursts, conflict, and controversy became the driving force behind the No Jumper brand, and it would only get worse as time went on. Up until now, Adam wasn't directly involved in any of these disagreements on set, but he actively promoted them from the sidelines. But this would all change on the 18th of January.
This must be when he's getting ready to talk about when the guy came in and said that they were like pedal catchers or something like that, and he brought the allegation about the article and that Adam had written about 16-year-olds and shit like that.
During an interview with Instagram personality Gracie Jane, Adam outed his close friend and co-host Housephone
Okay, so it's
for
not this
sleeping
one
with a
yet.
trans person.
Did that look down upon to expose that somebody may have been with a trans person? If,
Yeah, absolutely. I sign NDAs and I take them very seriously, so just
but
letting
you
everybody
didn't
know
get
that.
one, I'm guessing.
He didn't fucking pay me. Fuck him. The fuck?
So just air them out. But I feel like in general, that's
you
kind of
pay
a
for
thing.
discretion in this world, okay? It's not about him. This is about me.
I have a feeling that this will soon be about him.
Oh shit.
I'm going to be hearing a lot about this.
And people, this was
What you talk? You brought it up. You added him.
I would like to say the same, but it seems like I'm worried about people calling me a bad friend for just not editing this and
bad
putting it out.
friend.
They're gonna be mad at me, but I'm just.
He's gonna be. Well, how about this? If you're mad at him, I think I'm mad at you because you're being a bad friend to me by acting weird and shady, acting like you didn't do some shit that you did do, and you know you did.
I've been friends with him for like, and I just don't want to be like.
truth
out
is
Viewers
there.
didn't take kindly to the fact
Bruh.
that Adam was exposing very intimate parts of his
That's
friend's life,
fucked up.
and they openly shared their dissatisfaction in the comments.
That is fucked up to be like, if that's that, whatever. If if I had a friend that was into that shit, I'd be like, do your thing, homie. Hey, your secret's safe for me. I don't give a shit. But I think Adam saw this as a chance to get content and saw it as a chance to like monetize his channel even more by getting more viewers to jump onto some controversial shit and, you know, bring in more ad revenue and all the other things that happen when your viewership goes up. So he might have just used that as a reason to. He might have used that situation as a reason to boost the money and shit. But that is fucked up. Like he's supposed to be your friend, and you just added all of his dirty laundry. Damn.
Section with a comment quoting, "Adam's not a bad friend. He's not a friend at all. He doesn't respect any of his employees. He's just scared of half of them," as well as, "The fact that this interview is still up speaks volumes." Prior to the interview being uploaded, Housefriend requested that Adam would remove all mentions that breached his privacy, but either due to an error with the editor or due to Adam's negligence, this request wasn't honored. Within hours of the
That's fucked
upload, Housefriend began facing harassment from both his fans and inner circle, forcing him to air out his frustrations on an episode of Disconnected.
Was like being apologetic and being like, yo, I watched it twice and I thought I got everything and blah, blah, blah. And like, it was somebody I considered like the homie too. So I'm just like, bro, I'm just feeling like Op City. Like,
You think
damn,
it's
I'm
an
like,
honest mistake or like?
I mean, I'm just like, bro, it's just, I don't know, bro.
On the 1st of February 2023, tension would reach its boiling point during one of their weekly shows after Housefriend finally confronted Adam.
Shit. He's been going through the health shit. You talking about the person that fucking raised me, that birthed me, my best friend that died? Oh, just he's been going through the mom shit.
But are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're
I fucking
disrespectful as fuck.
I paid for the fucking
First of all-
funeral as soon
first
as
of
it
all-
happened just because.
The pair would later apologize to one
Shit.
another, but the damage was already done. Adam having shown that he wasn't going to take accountability for his actions, and the blatant fact
Come
that
on,
he
bruh.
valued views over his employees, something that would come to plague his future actions. Following these revelations, Housephone, as well as the other members of the Disconnected podcast, decided to cut ties with Adam, leaving the No Jumper brand to form their own media company.
Okay, so I'll get this out of the way first. Is that still to this day, I got nothing but love for Blasey. Blasey has announced that he's stepping away from No Jumper, specifically Disconnected, you know. But, you know, he was brought on to No Jumper through Housephone, and Housephone, I mean, we don't really know exactly where he's at still. We haven't necessarily had like a full conversation with him. The last time that we communicated with him, Josh talked to him on Wednesday, and he seemed pretty enthusiastic about still doing the show. So I don't know if that changed between Wednesday and Thursday, or if he just wasn't having a good day, or what. But you know, the Blasey thing, I assume, just kind of comes from that. And so
In the weeks that followed, Adam would have another falling out with the other hosts, AD, over replacing him on the show.
Bruh, so he's just having fallout after fallout after fallout with his hosts, that people that were brought in to and looks like they did great work, you know what I'm saying? They brought in viewers that weren't that he didn't have before, simply because they were doing such diverse things now. Instead of constantly talking about up and coming rappers, they were doing other things, which brought in other viewers who stuck around, probably looked at all the other things that No Jumper had to offer, and you know, that's what, and then like start just continued the growth. So I don't know, that seemed like there was a good work from what I can tell, but that first one that we saw him with Blasey, oh my god, I forgot the name already. But that one where he just added the guy's, you know, personal laundry and shit, that was on him. That was on Adam's fault. Like you fucked that shit up. Like you starting to go around and it's like you're purposely trying to destroy the empire that you've built, like a Mad King or some shit. So I'm gonna go watch the rest of this and see how else he fell out with his hosts, and obviously he's gonna talk about the other allegations with like the 16-year-old and Lena the plug. Oh no, not allegations about Lena, but him sharing his wife. But yeah. I'm gonna go watch this. The link to the video, link to the channel will always be in the description below, so that in case you want to watch it without my commentary, or if you want to finish it yourself. But for now, I'm gonna end this video, and yeah, you know what it is. As like I said, all the links will be in the description below, so be sure to check out Internet Anarchist. And while you're over there, don't forget to do those 3 things that I like to ask you to do, and like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. And you know what it is from there. In case I don't see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace. And much love to you.